Hello everyone, my name is Carol Malott, and I am here today to tell you a story. This is a story that I read about probably 25 or 30 years ago, and I just want to make a video telling you about it. And it's a story that I read about. It was in a Christian book about a minister. A minister wrote the story in a book that he wrote, and it was about him and his family taking a mission trip and going overseas. He was involved with a group of other ministers that went overseas and did mission work quite often, and usually they had to go by themselves. They couldn't take their wives or their children, and so but on this particular occasion the wives and children were allowed to go. The whole family could go, and so quite a number of them went overseas on a mission trip, and they had some work to do over there. And after they arrived, this one minister, I think I'm going to call him Bob, just so you'll know who I'm talking about as this video goes on. And anyway, after they arrived and docked, this one minister, Bob, was up on deck, and he was watching the other ministers and their families disembark. And he said to the Lord, he said, I claim the protection of the blood of Jesus Christ on myself and all of my family. And then him and his family disembarked too. And they went about their work while they were there that they were supposed to be doing, and it came to be that a lot of the people start getting sick, and it turned out that all the people, all the pastors, all their wives, all their children, everyone on the mission trip got sick. Nothing really serious, just something that lasted a couple of days, and then they were over it. But nothing happened to Bob and his family. He didn't get sick, and his wife didn't get sick, and none of his children got sick. And they went on about their mission work, and when their mission work was all over, they boarded the ship again and set sail back for America. And one day Bob was up on the deck on their way back across the ocean, and one of the ministers came up to him and said, "Hey, Bob, tell me something." He said, how come it was that everybody on this mission trip got sick? All the pastors, all their wives, and all the children, but you and your wife and none of your children got sick. And he says, how come that is? And Bob just looked at him and said, well, did you claim the protection of the blood of Jesus Christ over yourself and your family? And he said, no, he didn't. And it might be because he never heard that before. I don't know. He just may have not ever heard it, and didn't know it. But he didn't say anything like that, and neither did any of the other ministers. And so Bob told him, he says, well, that's the reason. He said, I did. He said, I claimed the protection of the blood of Jesus Christ on myself and my wife and all my children. And Bob and his wife and all of his children were the only ones on the mission trip that didn't get sick. And they came on back to America, and the minister went about his business. And I read that in a story, in a book that he wrote probably 30 years ago, and I have no idea who the minister was or the name of the book that he wrote the story in, but I'm sure that somebody someday or sooner or later will recognize this story and know the book it came from. And if you do, if you want to get in touch with me, let me know. I'll be glad to acknowledge that minister and that book as where the story came from, because this is not my story, it's his story. But anyway, time went on, and I don't know, months, maybe a few years went by, and one day I was out in the backyard. I don't know what I was doing, and I felt something on my left arm, and I raised my arm up and looked at it, and there was this mosquito on my arm, and I got ready to hit it just as hard as I could and fast as I could, the way we always do whenever we get a mosquito bite, and usually the mosquito gets away, and I end up smacking myself really hard, and wishing I hadn't done that. But anyway, there was a mosquito on my left arm, and I got ready to do just that, smack it. And I had a notion that like an idea in my head that if I did that, I wouldn't learn something. I'd be doing the same thing I always did, and if I didn't do that, then I'd learn something. And so, and I remembered that story, which I'd read. By then, this time, it had probably been years. I remember that story about that pastor and when he claimed the protection of the blood of Jesus Christ on himself and all of his family. And so I held my arm up and I looked at that mosquito and I said, I claim the protection of the blood of Jesus Christ. And I stood there and I let that mosquito bite me just as long as it wanted to bite me. And I watched its abdomen, and I could see its abdomen filling up with my blood and swelling. It got bigger and bigger and bigger. So I knew it was biting me, and it was sucking out my blood. But I didn't try and scare it off. I just said I claim the protection of the blood of Jesus Christ. And after a few seconds, it flew away. And I looked at my arm, and there was not a mark on my arm anywhere. I couldn't tell that a mosquito even bit me. There was no bump that swelled up. There was no red spot that turned red and itched, and there was nothing. I could not tell that a mosquito had bit me at all. So I thought, wow, that's pretty important. That's kind of a good thing for somebody to know. And as time went on, a few weeks later or a month or so later, I was out in the backyard again, and I felt something on my left hand, the back of my left hand. And I raised my hand up and I looked at it, and there was 3 mosquitoes on the back of my hand. And I looked at those mosquitoes and I said, I claim the protection of the blood of Jesus Christ. And I watched them, and they all 3 bit me just as long as they wanted to, and I watched their abdomens fill up with my blood. And after a few seconds, all 3 of them flew away, and I looked at the back of my hand, and there was not a mark on my hand. There was no bumps, there was no red splotches, it didn't itch, there was no sign that anything had even happened to my back of my hand. I could absolutely not tell that I'd been bitten by a mosquito, 3 mosquitoes, and there was no marks left at all. So that's the reason why I'm making this video and telling you about this, because anybody, I believe, can do this. If you just say, I claim the protection of the blood of Jesus Christ, you'll be protected. And Since then, I do that quite often, especially when I'm traveling or if I'm going out somewhere or if I'm on the road or vacation. I just say, I claim the protection of the blood of Jesus Christ. And if my family's with me and we're on vacation, I just say, I claim the protection of the blood of Jesus Christ on myself and all of my family. And I name each one of them. And I'm just saying that that might be a good thing for you to know. You can say that over your children when they go off to school or go off to college, or if they go out with friends to get something to eat or go to a dance or something. You can just say, I claim the protection of blood of Jesus Christ on my son or daughter or whatever, and everyone that's with them. It's or if you're getting off work and it's late at night and you're going out to the parking lot to your car, you just say, I claim the protection of the blood of Jesus Christ. And you can say it out loud, or you can just speak the words in your mind. It doesn't matter. I don't know how many times I've probably been protected and didn't even know it, but just because I say that every now and then. So that's what this video is about, to tell you about something that's really kind of hard to believe. But I'll tell you, if you see mosquitoes bite you and you let them bite you, and you say, I claim the protection of the blood of Jesus Christ, and there's no proof that they bit you, you cannot see anything, there's no red mark, it doesn't itch, there's no bump that swells up, it kind of makes a believer out of you. So that's why I'm making this video and telling you about this. And I hope a lot of you use it. And most of the time, I think I've said that since then. I haven't noticed anything, but I think I've been protected a lot of times by things that otherwise might have happened. So anyway, I guess that's about it. I just wanted you to know about this story and about that protection. And you can say it on yourself and your spouse or your loved ones or your children or relatives or a neighbor down the street or whoever. So I guess that's about it, and God bless you, and thank you for watching.